top of a walk I've ever seen, to be honest.
Good morning, people. This week's walk's going to be the Wythop and Lorton Fells. 7 Wainwrights, around 7 to 8 hours, about 1200 metres of ascent and around 12 miles. Just come down a bit of a path here, quite slippy from the car park, and we're heading straight up to the first Wainwright. Doesn't look too far into this walk, but yeah, nice little area. You can see, river looks amazing. So the weather forecast today says 70% chance of cloud-free summits. It's meant to be snowing at some stage in the afternoon, but with these fells being a bit lower, we might actually get away with it. As you can see, this is a steep start, and by the looks of it, we're just following this wall all the way up. So you can just see where the van turn the corner. Here is where the car park is. Just passing it now, and we've come all the way down here and up, and possibly the steepest start to Wainwright bagging route so far. But looking at the elevation profile, then it looks like you go straight up here and then straight back down to floor level and then back up again. So we're starting to flatten out a bit. We're just coming up to the first summit, but Wainwright had said that there's not actually a cairn here, it's just grass and rock, but he said it's obvious which the highest point is. Oh yeah. You'll put piles of stones here now. Graystones, 456 metres. Wainwright had said it was just grass and rock, but you can see people have made little cairn. But yeah, first one of the day. Was tough coming up that, I'm not going to lie to you. Bit of advice, bring a walking pole as well, makes it a lot easier. So that took just under 40 minutes. Another quick one this week to start. And heading to the next, so 6 more left. We've got about a third of the ascent out of the way already, with that being so steep, so swings and roundabouts later on in the walk. So the route's got you cutting across to this moss, but it looks like we do a big drop down on the elevation profile. So summit's just over there. There's quite a few faint paths coming over. Just come over to this wall line and then you're following the wall line most of the way to the next fell. It's not actually listed as a path, but you can see it's faint. Yeah, you can see, as the elevation profile said, we are dropping off a lot here, and then we're going to have to descend back up. Nice fun fence here.
Like, seriously.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm gonna hurt myself on this, I know I am. Oh my god.
You can see how wet it is here. Just check the GPS and we're going to run down this fence line, and if you can see in the distance where it turns left, you're going directly up. You can just see it's got a trig point at the top, but it looks like they're just doing a direct route here. There is actual little paths, but we need to be on this side of the fence on the right, so we're going to jump over now. Oh, you can see how bad this stuff is. Soggy, wet. Make sure you've got Gore-Tex footwear on, and maybe think up twice about doing this in really bad rain or anything. Not the best, but we're halfway down this fence line. So this area is just literally like a river, so we're just going to jump back over the fence. It is actually alright on that side. Oh yeah, it was, yeah. Oh, no wonder it was. Jesus. What side shall we go on? Should we just stay next to the river, but on the right of it? Go for it. So you can see where we've come down the fence. There's a river running through, and there is little bits of paths, and you can see where we need to go up. Just take your time through this section. There's a lot of parts that are quite deep, so with water, big holes and stuff, so we're just having to navigate it slowly. The path's going to look like a big zigzag on me track, but is what it is, unfortunately. Doesn't look like a big ascent, that, does it? It's only 370 something. So you can see there is a path running up here that people have come up. Really slippy, so I've got a hiking pole with me. If you're grabbing any of this stuff, there's whatever these are, spiky, man. Put my hands through some before, hurt bad. So just be careful. Tom's decided to go on another little path up there, but I think she's going away. Hopefully she gets up there. So here's an example of not listening to me when I've got a GPS. Now she's stuck and having to come all the way back. Finally up on a bit of flat ground. That was a slog. So the trig point's just come into view, where that guy is and his dog. Nice fell, this. Ling Fell, 373 metres, second one of the day. Nice little fell, this. You can see where we've come from over there. Nice and chilled out one. See all the way to Scotland. Sweet. Can't beat a proper trig point, man. Just on 2 hours gone. The bit between the two then, the boggy part was slow going, but we've got here in the end. Quick little break there, got a bit of food in us. It's actually quite warm, you can see the sun's come out behind us. But I think Emma's was right about the clouds on the bigger mountains. You can just see Skiddaw completely covered there. So not a great day for views if you're on the big ones. Next one's going to be Sail Fell, and it looks like we're dropping down to a road and then back up. And just see we're going to drop big time. So you're basically dropping down about 300 metres. We've decided to just take our own route up to this one. The one on the GPX file is just saying go straight up that road to the right and bagging the fell and coming straight back down the same way. So we're just going to go up the wall line and over, so it circles it rather than directing back, so it just keeps it a bit more interesting. So you can see the last fell in front, and they come up quite a bit already. Steep that. And we're going to take this path to the right, and that gets us up there rather than the other way.
It's coming from over there.
Hiya. Hiya. This must be the summer. Sail Fell, 359 metres. Third one of the day. You could see then this is quite a popular fell. Loads of dog walks up here. And there's loads of people in the area parked around here. But yeah, Wainwright had just said it was like a rocky plateau. No cairn. But not bad. Just gonna head over here and have a quick look over at the lake. Ah, sweet man. Be a gay little spot for a lunch this in the summer. Nice. There's people out on little boats there at the bottom. Wainwright had said in the book that this is good for a summer's day as well, if you want to just relax. So this forest here, you can just see Broom Fell. The next one is just above that to the left. And then we must be heading over that way on the next one after that. So you can see quite a few people on Broom Fell actually. Looks far away that.
Just a little bit.
You reckon?
Did you say it was 11? No.
So as you can see here, it says no access beyond this point, and the route saying go up there, and it doesn't even look like a proper path on the GPS. So we just went in the farm to have a look, and I don't think there's anything there to go up. I'm trying to find an alternative route now. I'm not sure if the score is here. I'll just try and jump this fence and see where this goes. Bit of a path there, just behind where the farm is. Well, there's the farm, and there's a bit of a, looks like a bit of a path here to get up. But we'll see where this leads. It's not showing a proper path on the OS, but the route's saying you want to go this way. It looks a bit direct again. There's the farm where I've just been, the gate. Just go down there and jump the fence and you end up here. So this path off the tractor or whatever goes the way we need to go. You can see it comes through his farm and then up, and then later on you join onto a path. Maybe the farmers just got bothered by people walking through the land, put that sign up, I don't know, but this looks okay for now. So the route is saying go down the fence line basically till you get to the forest. Oh yeah, there's a path here, very faint. Either that or it's a Stuart Marshall special. Someone's followed the Stuart Marshall route because there's feet marks everywhere. And now we've got to pass the forest, and you can just see up there where the summit will be. So it's not too bad, at least the farmer's tracks, you can follow these. That doesn't look like I want to go through that. So we've just passed the little forest, and the path, the proper path, is literally just over here. But that is doable that way, it's fine. Obviously it's up to you if you want to pass through the farmer's house, but if you want, just jump the fence on the road. You can find your way up here, and then it gets back onto the main path. Stuart Marshall's probably just cut across because it's quicker than going all the way back up to the second fell. can see how far we've come up. And we're nearly on the main path. The little dog. Broom Fell, 511 metres. Nice little cairn here. According to the Wainwright book, it said that it was like an old section of a wall, but it's probably been built since the books were written. We've got a little shelter here. Just grabbed ourselves some food again. Fields up for the next one, which is going to be Lord's Seat. But another boss fell. You can just see the farm below in the distance that we had to pass through after Sale fell. And there's a lot of people coming from that way. That was the first fell, and a lot of people are coming up this path. But yeah, another little decent fell. Pleased with that one. Our next one, Lord's Seat, must be here, just above. So currently at 4 hours and 20 minutes. We're well past the halfway point. Reckons we've got about 2.5 hours left. Oh, this section's bad over to Lord's Seat from Broom Fell. Get him. So that was Lord's Seat at 552 metres. In a Wainwright book, it used to actually have like a bit of a seat there, but it's just all reminiscent of it now. You could just see there was little bits of metal in the floor. About 10 people have just turned up. Must be quite popular. And there's loads of people on Barf that we're going to now. Fairly popular route this. Must be one of those areas where it's easy to park around here. Don't think many are doing that route that we've done so far. There's a little cluster of them here, which is decent. That was our 5th of the day. We've got 2 left. We're going to be on Barf in the next 10-15 and then over to Whinlatter. But as you can see, going very boggy again. As you can see, this bit nice. That's how heavy that.
Break.
Must just be the rocks. Oh mate, it's got a view here. Oh no, this is quality, you know. Wow, no, it's fine. Barf, 468 metres, 6th Wainwright. Up there with the best, not gonna lie. not got no cairn or anything, just got a rocky plateau, but look at that. Oh my god. That view of Bassenthwaite Lake, man. Ridiculous.
Don't stand to the edge.
I'm fine. Tom's flapping about me on the edges. This might be up there with the best. Unbelievable, mate. When we were walking over then, there must have been about 20 people on here who've just passed us, and I was thinking, why is this so popular? But obviously I didn't know this view was going to be here. Fantastic, that, innit? I'll have to take a few photos here rather than just moving on to the next one. But that is 6 down. We've got one more left, Whinlatter Fell. But yeah, unreal, mate. Classic. Can't believe how good it is. So we're heading over to our last one of the day. Fantastic Barf there, mate. One of my favourite Wainwrights. And Dom's just been saying there's one of those Borodale banks here, but I'm not actually sure where. It'd be worth coming back for that. And obviously, class fell, mate, up there. But we've got to head back towards Lord's Seat up there and do a left by the forest. Yeah, it's not good, is it? This has got to be some of the worst terrain on one of these walks I've ever done. You just see, I just fully submerged my foot. Went all up my pants and stuff, but it's my boots are Gore-Tex, so it's fine, but it's boggy, man. And if you were doing this in really bad weather, it'd be horrible. You just see. And we're about to join another path.
We just emerged from the marsh.
Ah man, thank God. Thank God we're on a normal path for a bit. So we got a bit optimistic there on that path. And we're actually in the bog again. That's where we need to go. Not good.
Why are you walking too fast?
Just had a look at the GPS then. This is where it's sending us. And this is saying this is an actual path.
Oh my God.
So the route's got you walking next to the forest, on which looks like a bit of a path, but I don't think it is. Or you could technically go on the roadside instead, follow the road, and it comes out close to where we're going to come out. Another one of those weird Stuart Marshall routes where it looks like we're going to get below the fell and we've just got to ascend it up the side. Yeah, this is just mossy. Probably been better to stay in the road, to be honest.
That doesn't look that high now, because it's also going to get into it. But still.
So there is actually a path coming through the forest. You can just see it faintly in front of us, and that's going to get us up there. And it's just starting to rain now, which is probably better now than before because we're not far from the car. Just get this out of the way. So I can see on the GPS there's a path up the top of this fence line. We're just going to jump onto that instead of jumping this and going across the river, and it gets us where we need to be. Sketchy. We're getting soaked here, so we've had to bang our coats on. And Marshall's got us done the direct route up. Not fun, mate. One of the worst walks, this. So that's Whinlatter top, not the official summit to Whinlatter. We've got to go a bit further over to one called Brown How, and Wainwright had said it's like a shelter, and that's the proper summit. That's the one that's recognised as the official, but you've got to pass this at, that's 525 metres, but we've got to carry on in that direction. We're actually on a path after slogging through all this for ages. The marshal route's a bit mad. We ended up just zigzagging through the header. It was a nightmare, and it's just lashed down then. Unfortunately I haven't got my waterproof pants on, my pants are soaked. My upper body's fine, but yeah, at least it's held off for a bit, and then we're going to head over here. Brown How, aka Whinlatter, the official summit, 517 metres. I'm so glad that I'm 7 out of the way. Look at it now.
Never again.
I don't think you'll ever see me on any of these mountains again. Maybe Barf, but on a good path. None of this, mate. Glad that's over. As mad as it is a good view. And I like this shelter thing. And that's Graystones Pike just behind there that you can't see in the clouds. A nice little view, yeah. But that's 7 more Wainwrights in the bag. We are just currently under 7 hours, and I reckon we've got about an hour left. Probably less back to the car. The car's fairly close. So the route is asking us to go all the way back and go down the side of the fell through that moss and stuff next to the fence, I think. But there is actually a path here that's listed on the GPS, and it goes so far down but stops. I'm gonna tackle this and see if I can get in back to the car this way, because it's right next to where we need to be, and I don't really want to go back through that header and stuff, so we're just gonna risk it and see what happens. If not, we'll have to just return and come back on ourselves. So this path is going in the right direction, but I wonder why it's gonna stop at some stage, and the car's just down there past the forest. I think we'll be good here, man. I'm going to do a Stuart Marshall and make something up myself, and hopefully it gets us back quicker. Oh no, you can get down there, all good. So this is where the path starts to end at a wall, but it looks like you can get over. So it looks like this is probably a quick way back. We can jump onto the other path in a minute. Oh, this is ideal, man. So we actually got on a nice path that's not even listed on any of the maps, but it's going exactly where it needs to go, straight back to the car. We just need to be on the road below there, but this road goes and joins that one in a minute, so we're just going to skate back a bit. That's a lot quicker of a way to get down than the 36 walks GPX file was recommending, or the Stuart Marshall one. It's asking you to go back to Whinlatter top and descend next to a fence, I think. Even better, just spotted this gate and a nice grassy path all the way back to the road, so we don't even have to go that way. So that's it now, we need to just get on this road. Bit of a path here as well. But that was a nice shortcut back. Saved us loads of time by the looks of it. So right next to this tree, the barbed wire is quite low. Just even I can step this now amid you. Yeah, man. Back on the road. So now we've got half a mile back to the car. And we are back. Finally. Right people, before we start, I just want to rectify a couple of points I made in the videos. So I basically said when we got up to Whinlatter top that Wainwright had said Brown How was the summit, but I actually misread that in the book. He pointed out that Whinlatter top was actually the highest point, but Ordnance Survey at the time thought it was Brown How, and later on he corrected it. You can actually see here on Wikipedia, it says Alfred Wainwright had noted that the Ordnance Survey map of his time showed Brown How to be the summit, a statement he discussed at some length and proved to be incorrect by his own amateur surveying. Modern maps of the Ordnance Survey appear to have conceded to this point. So I had a quick look at the route when I got home and I realised I'd completely misread, and Wainwright was actually right at the time. Whinlatter top was the summit. And also, talking about Whinlatter, on this point where I was blaming the Stuart Marshall route for sending us directly up to Whinlatter top, I had another good look when I got back at the Stuart Marshall book. He'd basically said in the book that you need to turn here and follow this road onto a path which leads up to Whinlatter top. What it was at the time, I got confused and was following a GPX file from the Wainwright 36 Walks website. The guy had drawn it here and went the direct route rather than round. The Stuart Marshall book had actually said to go on this bit of a road up to the real path, but at the time I didn't notice this. Because I was following this OS, I couldn't see the path that actually joins on. A couple of mistakes made on my part, and I just wanted to get it out there before we started the summary. But anyway, let's get to the parking. So the parking for this one is at a place called Spout Force Car Park in Whinlatter, just up the road from Whinlatter Forest, which you'll be able to see on this website here. It's just off the B5292, and it says it's got 25 spaces. But for some weird reason, when you type it in to Google Maps, it just doesn't show you the car park, but it is actually called Spout Force. And I'll right click, and you can see there, if you need an actual coordinate to put in to get there, there's the coordinates on the screen. And there's also, you can see here is a bit of a lay-by that I've seen a couple of cars parked in when I left. So you can see here is where I started ascending the first fell, so it's not far off the bottom of there. And you can't drop the Google Maps man in to show you, but I'll show you the road. So you can see here Spout Force, and you can see a few cars parked there. Really good car park that, it's free. It's got loads of spaces. We got there at 8 AM and there was only one car parked up. Doesn't look like the most busiest area in the world, so you probably get parking fairly easy. You can just see the top down view. A couple of cars are parked there. As I say, if you can't find it on your GPS or your maps that you use, just type those coordinates in, it'll come up. The walk starts right next to the car park, so it's a good one. So let's get into the walk. As you can see here, Ordnance Survey lists the car park here. You literally come out of the car park and go down a bit of a section of steps here before you come to a river. And there's a bridge here called Scoregill Bridge. You basically head straight up to the first fell. You follow a wall line and fairly steep going up there, gotta be honest with you. With it being 456 metres, you're just going directly up to it, the first one, Graystones. To be honest, it gets a good portion of the ascent out of the way at the start, which is a good thing, but as it said in the video, having a hiking pole does help, because it is a grassy section going up there and muddy in parts. As you would have seen, Graystones is just a rocky plateau. The route has you going off Graystones down towards the next fell, and you basically again follow a wall and a fence all the way down, and you drop down a good couple of 100 metres. And basically through this section, as you would have seen me explaining, it's very, very boggy, this section. Watch your footing as you're walking through this section, because there's holes everywhere and a lot of water, as you can see on the map here. But as long as you stick to around the wall and the fence, you've just got to stay on that till you hit the corner here. And there is a path running up to Ling Fell. I switch between views while I'm walking, and you can see different paths come up. on the OS compared to the outdoor active version. But you can see there was actually a path going up there. Really liked Ling Fell with it having a proper trig point on it, and you had some good views around you. Coming off Ling Fell, you'd have to go to a roadside. Again, very steep coming down here. Another couple of 100 metres and quite slippy coming down. We had to strafe coming down it because it was so steep in points. You'd end up coming down to a roadside where loads of cars were parked here and a lot of people were walking up to the next fell we were going to. The original route up to Shell Fell was asking us to go up this road and right around, but we decided to follow a path up next to the wall and cut across up to Shell Fell to make it a bit of a circular, and again shows you different paths on the outdoor active map. But yeah, there was a proper path going up there to Shell Fell, and again it was just a rocky plateau, nothing special. Basically you circle back off the fell before you come into a farm. You pass through this farm, and this section here up to Old Scales Farm is again boggy, not the best. And at this stage we got to the farmer's gate and it said no access beyond that point. And basically you can see here we walked into the farm, had a quick look. It was basically going through his property, which sometimes I can see why they don't like you doing it. So we ended up coming down the road a bit and jumping over a fence here. We seen an easy fence to climb over with a bit of a path running up. So rather than going through his property and coming through his back garden, which we later noticed there was a path leading to his back gate, we decided to jump the fence. And the martial route basically has you directly going up to the next fell. And as you can see, you follow next to a stream and a fence line. Just navigate your way up there, stay close to the fence, watch your foot and where you're going. You end up coming to a forest, and from the forest up to this proper path here is basically like there's a quad track running up there. So just stick to the quad track and it gets you up to the main path, up to Broom Fell. Really good fell like that, had a proper cairn and a bit of a shelter, which was cool. This section between Broom Fell and Lord Seat, a lot of bog again, very muddy, not the best terrain in the world. And you're basically ascending up about 50 metres up to Lord Seat. Lord Seat, a quite popular fell. And as we got there, a lot of people turned up. In the book, it had an actual bit of a bench there, or a seat as you'd call it. And you could see where it used to be because there was pieces of metal in the floor where it probably was at some stage. The seat's actually gone. Between Lord Seat and Barf, that's probably one of the worst sections on this walk. It is just mud everywhere. There's a lot of mistakes to be made if you're not careful going down there. What a fell Barf was, man. You could see me saying on the video, I had a view over Wainwright Lake. You could see straight to Skiddaw. Some of the best views in the Lake District, in my own opinion. I'd love to go up Barf again, but maybe up a different path. You can see here, you can park at the bottom of it and ascend up here. And there's plenty of paths up there. Really good fella, and I will return in the future. It's up there with my favourite Wainwrights by far, like miles ahead of loads of them, even bigger ones. Little rocky plateau again, no cairn, but an amazing fell, well worth visiting that one. And then basically you head off Barf towards the last fell, which is Whinlatter top. And you'd have to pass through all this muddy bog again. And coming through this foresty part here, we actually got to a path here and thought we were carrying on down a path, but it turned out we wasn't. We probably could have found a way up to Whinlatter top on the decent path, but we didn't. We followed the GPX file. You go through the forest, which the mud sort of settles down, which is decent. And this was the mistake I made here. The GPX file I'd followed off the 36 walks was telling me to go next to the forest, which you can see is listed as a path here, and directly up. And you'd have to jump over a bit of a river. So Marshall's route had actually said go up this path up to Whinlatter top. I'll show you on the outdoor active better view. So you can see I should have turned left and carried on, and there would have been a path all the way up to Whinlatter top. The GPX file I'd followed actually told me to go next to the forest and direct, which on my part was a mistake. I tend to just skim over the route quick the night before because we never really decide in advance what we're going to do. So I blame the Marshall route, but he'd actually told us to go the other way, and it was more the GPX file. and I should have probably spotted that at the time, but that's why I'm pointing it out now. And yeah, you would have seen me went direct up to Whinlatter through a lot of heather and moss, which was again down to me, but it is what it is. We ended up summiting Whinlatter top, which, as I just explained, Wainwright had actually said in the book, it was just me misreading it. He'd said that Whinlatter top was the true summit, not Brown How, and you can see it is actually higher now on the OS. And I thought that at the time, but I was a bit peed off at that point because I got soaked and my boots got wet and everything. That was my mistake again with a quick skim of the Wainwright book. Anyway, we went to both regardless, so we did bag both in the end, so it's irrelevant. The GPX file again had asked us to come off Brown How after we summited it and go down this line here. I think it was a wall line onto the path at the bottom. But I did notice when I switched between views that there was a path running down here. So we decided to jump on that before we got to a wall here when the path stopped. And it did join on to another path. We thought at this point we could get across the car, which we couldn't. So we tried to circle back. And then we noticed here there was a gate you could jump over. We could see a path running through the field, back through the road, to save us circling round on this section. And if you're out to come off Brown How that way, it does probably save a lot of time rather than circling back. And at this section, just look for a big tree and all the barbed wires missing there, so you can just step over the fence. And then you've got about half a mile back to the car. So a quick look at our stats for the day. You can see the elevation profile, how steep the first fell is and how much you drop off. Couple of drop-offs. And it levels out towards the end of the walk. We ended up doing 12 miles and 7 hours and 35 minutes. You can see we were only actually moving for 5 hours and 39 minutes. So a lot of stopping and breaks in between, with it being steep in parts and with it being a lot of bog and stuff, you are stopping, trying to avoid going down holes and stuff. To basically summarise the walk, wasn't actually my favourite walk in the world, just due to the fact there's a lot of bog and a lot of bad terrain. Maybe if in the future if I was to ever go back to any of them fells, I'd do them individually maybe, but that's about it. I wouldn't go out my way to do this walk again. As I pointed out, I did make a couple of mistakes on that walk, but it is what it is. We ended up getting the 7 Wainwrights in the end. But as always, people, any relevant information will be linked in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.